So should we just jump in and get started then? And the other, because we have quorum. So, okay.
Yeah.
So let's get started. We'll call that the welcome. Moving on to the next, I'll share last week's minutes. Let's make sure I get the right screen up. Okay. So here are the minutes.
Good job on the minutes, Linda.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you.
I don't know how you did it for so many years, Debbie.
See?
It's like
You
this
have to do it
little
this-
cloud that hangs over my head.
So this, any comments, any corrections to the minutes? I can scroll if you need me to, but I know we got these in ahead of time.
Overall, I think the minutes are excellent, but I'd like to make a suggestion. I'm on 2 committees in town where I don't know anybody because I don't spend that much time at town hall or, especially with the COVID. So I wish that in the minutes and so forth, we could identify people more fully. For example, I know who Maxine is, but I have no idea who Lisa is. And it says that Maxine met with Lisa.
Well, I want to make a note of that because in the minutes it said Maxine met with Lisa to discuss staff concerns.
Yeah. It was Convy
Okay.
Stahl. Yeah, that I have a few things. So that was my first thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, and Lisa's Lisa Shea. She's a staff member.
Okay, and I know who she is, but
Mhm.
I'm guessing.
Yeah, no, we can do full names.
Sure, that's no problem.
It's definitely
maybe,
more
just the
professional.
first time the name's used,
Right, the first time, yeah.
and then you can go to the first name.
Well, it's also good when you bring that up, other people that might be reading the minutes that aren't on the trustees.
Yeah.
Right.
Good
It's also-
to know, I guess.
It's just more professional.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
don't follow my lead, Linda.
No,
Okay, under CARES Act funding, so let me see, extra hours for cleaning. Okay, not under the CARES Act, under reopening, I think Jerry Swanson is 2 Rs. Her name's actually Geraldine, and then if you could put Jerry Swanson to also open, because, it's not just Tuesday, just put an also in there. To also open Tuesdays. Is that okay, Linda?
Yep.
And then a little bit down, 4 people at a time are able, because it was already happened.
Yeah, not will be. Are.
Yeah, not will be, but are. And
But
then
when we
I
did
would,
our meeting, when we did our meeting, it was will be.
no, we were already open on Wednesdays. 4 people at a time were entering the library on
Okay.
Wednesdays. And then I would cut out this at a department head meeting. I don't think we need those 3 lines.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, it's not clear what happened. It's not specific. Like,
I didn't want to be too specific.
I know. I think that doesn't need to be in there. Was that in my director's notes?
I think we just talked about it.
Yeah, I think it was just part of the discussion. And
Yeah.
town hall, some of the people from town hall offices were there. It was department heads and some people from town hall. It ended up being an ad hoc meeting because Ed couldn't make it at the last minute. So I think it's better just to cut
Just
those
cross
3.
it out.
Yeah, the raises, I think, were the school teachers. But I
Yeah.
don't think it serves any purpose to put it in there. You know what I mean? Because I'm not positive.
Well, I wasn't sure about how you felt about it. So
Yeah, I
Good day.
think I'm mentioning the discussion, but yeah, I think it's better since we're not too clear about it to But I'm pretty sure it was teachers who got the raises, but we didn't know
Yeah,
about
but
it
I
at the
didn't want to
time.
single him out.
Yeah, that's why I think by not specifying, it would raise people's curiosity about who got raises, and, you know, so yeah, so I think it's better just to take it out,
Okay.
but that's all I found. Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
I didn't mean to be critical at all, Lisa, either. It's just, I'm getting used to learning what's going on, and
Yeah.
yeah, thank you.
It's constructive criticism.
I hope mine was too.
Huh?
Yes.
That's always acceptable.
Yeah.
So I just stopped screen sharing for a moment because I had to jump on my email, and who knows what's in there. But Convi sent me a message that she was having trouble with the link. So I just sent her another link. Hopefully we'll see her soon, but I'm going to just keep an eye on my email in case she reaches out again. Just wanted to let the group know. So are we good with the minutes? I'm sorry to interrupt there.
No, we are.
Okay, do I have a motion to accept?
I'll move.
A second.
From the Council on Aging meeting that I was at, there's new guidelines from the state with regard to Zoom meetings. And I think every vote we take has to be a roll call.
Yep, it does. So I'm going to go through and say the name, and you can give your vote rather than us trying to guess who goes next. So Debbie?
Aye.
Jessica? Aye. Maxine?
Aye.
Linda?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Jim?
Aye.
Beth?
Aye.
Jean?
Aye.
And Faith?
Aye.
Aye, aye, aye.
Thank you.
Oh, you said Debbie? Okay.
Yes.
Yep, she was my first. I almost said Barbara too, but I stopped myself. I remembered. Okay, so on to the director's report.
So the financial report, I handed that in on time in mid-October, and then I worked on the waiver. It's like been one report after another. Jessica, thank you very much for your suggestions on the waiver statement from us, and Convi also made some suggestions. So Jessica came in and signed it, and we scanned it and sent it to the Mass Board of Library Commissioners. Vicki did hers before she left, and luckily she did it early enough and she sent me a copy that I saw that she hadn't done it correctly, but the only reason I knew was because I watched the waiver workshop. So I went back to her and she redid all her figures. Do people want me to send these things to the trustees? I have a question. I mean, I have Vicki's statement, our statement, and Ed's statement.
I wouldn't mind seeing it if it's easy for you to send.
Yeah, it's all on email, I think.
I'd be interested in seeing it. Just to see what you had to do. I'd be interested to see what you had to do for the waiver. Everything is sent in.
Yeah, and especially Vicki's form. I was very surprised at Vicki's form because it didn't seem to match what I saw at the select board meeting as far as the percentage of cuts for all the departments. And so she explained why some of them look differently than we saw at the select board meeting. And it's explained in my waiver letter. So at least one of them, two of them actually are explained. So I will send it to you. I think you'll find Vicki's form especially interesting and probably ours. So the deadline is tomorrow, and Ed Gibson emailed his in today. I also sent scans of the budgets for FY20 and FY21 that were voted on at the annual town meeting, and 21. Luckily, they also had the 20 on it. So I feel like unless they have a question, which they might, we've handed in what we were required to. And so I've already started weeding and ordering, and that feels really good. I haven't been able to do a lot of that for the last few months. So just to clarify, usually I just have the 2 state reports, the ARIS and the financial, but because of COVID, I had the CARES Act proposal and then the waiver. So things have been happening in the building with the boiler. I think, do most of you know about the boiler problem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dave Wells found out it was leaking, and Keith, we told Ed, and he prefers to find a temporary solution so that we can apply for the money in the spring. And Keith David of RK Solutions checked the boiler. He does think we need a new one. And he has found something that may work as a temporary solution and it may not. So he came in today and applied this to the boiler. And we're supposed to check every day to see if there's water around the boiler. And that's how Dave found it. There was some water around the boiler on the cement.
You didn't know this was part of being a librarian, did you?
Right. All when I went to library school, they didn't spend a lot of time on building issues. So they did spend some time on, what do they call it, emergency things, but not that much on a pandemic. So, yeah.
So Barbara, if this doesn't work, is there emergency money to buy one from the town?
I don't know.
They would have to go into the capital budget, I believe it's called. We have 2 funds. One is an emergency fund, and then one we take money from every year if we want to add from it. So that's what that would have to come out of. And I'm not sure if it's called capital funds or not.
Capital reserve, is that what it is?
It might be. But if there is
at the condo here.
Yeah, there is a fund, but it has to be a true emergency. Well, if the boiler breaks down, then
yeah, that would be.
It will be.
Barbara, it's been a lot of years since I had a boiler for a furnace, but in the day, if there was a low water pressure, there was a risk of an explosion. Do you know if we have a safety mechanism in place?
I asked Keith about what would happen, and he didn't mention explosion.
Good.
So I will ask him again. I'm pretty sure that was kind of what I asked him.
Well,
I don't know if I don't think I used the word explosion, but I did ask him about that. What would happen if it stopped working, or if it, so yeah, I don't remember him saying anything about that, but I can check. But he does suggest an efficiency boiler, high efficiency boiler. That was his suggestion for replacement, but yeah. So it is 24 years old.
Definitely vote for high efficiency versus low efficiency.
Yeah, I don't know. Sounds good.
But the thing about when you talked with Ed about this, since we will need specifications for a boiler, could we not at least get that started?
Well, I could ask him, but it does cost money.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like what is it, an HVAC engineer or something like that? Keith mentioned that to me. Yeah, we have to get specifications. I'll ask him.
Yeah. But Maxine, I had thought that when we originally did this whole thing, we were going to replace the boiler, and we got some specifications on it. Do you remember
we didn't get the specs on it, because when we talked to the different people that came in, like one of them was Hurley Davis, I forget. I dug out all the notes on that.
Yeah.
They had said at the time that that the boiler didn't need to be replaced. It has, it had another 10 years on it, and that was, I think, I've got my notes over there, 4 years ago or something.
All right. Okay.
So
I still can't find my building folder. So,
But we didn't get an engineer or anything on it because
Okay.
it did, you know, I think I explained that to Barbara, didn't I?
yes, I think
Yeah,
you did.
that's what I thought too, that remember that whole process is we didn't even know we had to go out to bid. So, you know, so it's kind of a mush because there was several layers to the process, but
Yeah.
we didn't
There
get
was,
specific.
It was the HVAC system that was really taking our attention after that because, you know, the whole thing with the boiler was the water heater and we could use a split system that did air and all kinds of other things. And then it got a little bit more involved and then all of a sudden we needed the HVAC. So we didn't.
Yeah. So I remember Charlie Kanicki was on that committee, capital improvement. And remember we went in with everything and then he split it up into different portions spread over years.
Right,
So,
yes, yeah.
so we didn't get specifications and
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, but that would be actually, because if the boiler goes, then, you know, then what do we do? I mean, it's going to take, they just can't bring in a boiler overnight. It means that, so it would be wise to start that process to have that in place. And
well, do you think it would be a trustee thing to email Ed, or do you want me to do it? You know, I can do it. I can ask him and let you know.
well,
Does he have a start? Can you ask him if he has a starting point? Like, yes, we know we're going to need a boiler. We're having this substance that's put inside of it to try to take care of the problem, maybe get us through the winter or whatever. But what can we do to start the ball rolling? Do we need?
And the Board of Trustees would, you could say, you know, the Board of Trustees would certainly like to have this process, at least get the engineering specifications done so that should the boiler suddenly go, it can be much more easily replaced. And then also the fact that we know we're going to need a boiler, but it's obvious that it's leaking. So within the year, we're going to have it replaced. So why not at least get that part going? So
Yes,
yeah, I would say
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Ed could, you know, help us, you know, set up the, you know, the steps of what we need to, what we should be doing.
Right.
You know, I think he's a good, he's someone good to talk to because he's familiar with the things that we do. I mean, the last time we were dealing with someone else completely and we didn't get a whole lot of direction.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a lot of experience when he was mayor. Yeah.
His only problem is that he's overwhelmed.
He is overwhelmed. Like they have to replace Vicky Morrow and Joyce.
Yeah.
They handed in the CARES Act, but we were waiting to hear from the state. And I'm sure there's a lot of other things on his desk. So
yeah.
All right. So so Keith was here today with the boiler, and he is not like 100% hopeful this is going to work through the winter. It's just something he's trying. So anyway, so he has to come back to do the other things he promised to do. He did look at the plans, but he hasn't told me yet. He's supposed to figure out, I guess he has to look at the HVAC, what the airflow is, and that's related to COVID, you know, how much air is coming in and out. He's supposed to adjust the fan because of COVID, and he's supposed to do the maintenance. So I really want to hear what the plans say about our airflow. The roof hasn't leaked. The guy didn't come back to look at it again, but it hasn't leaked. So, all right, the CARES Act funding. I just told you about not knowing for 2 to 3 weeks. A lot's happened since I filled out the CARES Act proposal. One thing is Keith told me that he can't put MER filters in our HVAC system. They won't accommodate them. And Other libraries in Norris School have something called ionization systems, and there's one of them is called iWave. When I was at a department head meeting, the principal of Norris was there, and that's how I found out they have iWave. And Lilly Library is something similar. So it's supposed to help purify the air, but nothing is guaranteed for COVID-19 until there's more research. But it seems like a good way to go since we can't do the MER filter. So I have an estimate, and I forgot we have 2 HVAC systems, so it's twice as much as what I expected. But I'm hoping when we get I'm hoping that we get the CARES money. And so instead of what I put down for MER filters and a couple other things, we could do the iWave. It's put into the HVAC and the ceiling somehow. And then let's see, and then RK Solutions can take care of it. Another thing that I've been hearing about is air purifiers. Libraries, dental offices, a lot of places are buying them. And I've bought 2, but I want to wait till we hear about the CARES Act funding to buy. I'd like to buy 1 more for the library. But they help to purify the air right around you, not the whole building. And Emily, I think you know Emily Munsko, one of our employees. They've been looking into it for their home. They've done a lot of research on it. So she was checking this one. The 2 that we got had really the right kind of size that could stop a COVID molecule. You know, that's kind of the thing she's been studying. So, and they're hard to get. The one we got was a small one for $100, and it just went up to $200 on Amazon, she said. So they're in demand. You know, because of winter coming and you can't open the windows, we're still opening the windows right now. So let's see. So that's why things are shifting, you know, since I filled out the form. And I'm hoping I can substitute a couple of things since the MER filters won't work out anyway. Any questions on the CARES Act item? So curbside pickup is still going well. We've handed out 1,650 bags as of today, and there are our curbside hours, Tuesday and Thursday and Saturday. Being open on Tuesday and Wednesday for 3 hours each is going well. We're get between 20 and 30 people. They come in a kind of a stream. We don't have like a whole 10 people waiting outside at any one time. People are happy to come in who choose to come in. You know, some still do curbside. And, you know, it's funny to watch people who've come in for the first time in all these months. They're like ecstatic, you know, so.
It was me. I was like in heaven. It was so.
Who's that?
Beth.
Faith?
Yeah.
No, that's Beth.
Oh, Beth. Yeah, you and yes, we've had a couple recently. There's one woman who came in for the first time since we've been open because she has no computer. And so she didn't even know it till she read the reminder. But so the reminder's a good thing, actually.
Yeah.
So Johanna talked about her family appointments and stuff on that. And then I just told you about Jerry's advice about, we'd been kind of talking about opening to the public in Wednesday morning as well as Wednesday afternoon, and having families Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday morning, and Wednesday afternoon. So we wouldn't be actually having new hours, but those hours that we have would be for everybody. But Jerry recommends keeping it to what we have right now. And so the reason we wanted to do that was because there are some families whose kids are in virtual school or some kind of school in the morning, and they wanted afternoon time for family. And then, as you probably all know, because I think I emailed you, that we were approved for our security system, and Ed said Hackworth, one of the Hackworths, I guess the Hackworth had an operation. So he told me to hold off on calling for a little while. So any other questions? I'll go into Johanna's. So the Halloween event was hugely successful. I don't know, did you all get a reminder? These are some of the pictures that were in there. Lisa handing out candy at the door. It's really worth
that.
Excuse me?
Was that in the Gazette?
No, it's in the reminder, and there's copies in the town hall. Aren't you supposed to each get one?
I don't think so.
I've never got.
You know what I can do is maybe I can grab some. There's a pile. I can grab some and have them at the library, but Johanna knew this woman was coming, but we didn't realize she took all these pictures. It's quite nice. So Johanna was not expecting all these people. I don't know if they hadn't signed up or what, but I went there and watched some of it, and it was, I'd say 40 people or more.
That's good.
And she's making great use of the pavilion. It was a nice day. The kids were adorable in their costumes. People loved it. And she had crafts. She did a story, crafts, and I think some, refreshments. I'm not sure about that. I don't remember. And then they marched to the library to trick or treat, and Lisa gave out the candy. So there's a picture of them walking from the park to the library. It's very cute. I watched at the door too. And we got an email the next day from Michael Rosenberg. Remember him? He was on the finance committee, saying that they really loved it. He has 2 little children, and it just felt more like normal times. And he was a wonderful email, so it made us all feel good about it. And then she had
Save that one, Barbara. Save that one.
Oh, I have it.
Yeah.
Johanna actually, he sent pictures of his kids and a friend's kids, and she posted on Facebook. So if you go to our Facebook page, if some of you do, you'll see the pictures. But yeah, I definitely have the email. So Lois Parent and Barbara Thompson helped her out, and that's in her first paragraph. And then she talks about Cindy Demon's story times in the next one, and they're still doing them outside in the pavilion. She would really like us to get those heaters, the 2 heaters that are part of the CARES Act money, because she would be using them right now. Then she talks about the family appointments, which are going very well, and she explains that. And then she says, because the family appointments book up pretty well, she hasn't been doing as many book bundles that she was. And she also had the book group out there, but now they're going to start going on Zoom because it's getting colder. But all this time they've been meeting in the pavilion. So then she...
Barbara, this is Beth. I think I have at least 2, but maybe 4 small heaters that we used on the ice cream bus.
Oh, wow. Do you want to email her or me, and you're willing to lend them to us?
You may have them. I don't have a bus anymore. Anyway, I will look this weekend, okay? And
yeah, that would be great, because even if we can buy 2, I'm sure more would be better,
Okay. I'm writing myself a note. Get the heaters.
That would be great, because she definitely would be using them. Okay. And then in November, she has Ed Papalarchik Flea Circus virtually, and then the story hours. And then, as you know, we were on Mass Appeal. That was a lot of fun.
Barbara,
one of the titles.
What is the flea circus? What is it?
I guess it's actual fleas. I don't know for sure. Ed Papalarchik comes up with pretty funny things. You want me to ask her?
Yeah.
But you might want to watch it. And then
I think I might.
And it's available on YouTube too for people who don't like Facebook. And I know we have several people. Let's see. When does she say? Oh, it would be on our website, but it's Tuesday, November 10th at 4:30.
Right.
But I'll ask her. I'll tell her you were all interested. You mean you haven't seen actual fleas in a circus?
All right. Any questions for Barb or anything else in the director's report? Okay. So anyone, New
I just want to
business.
say you guys are all doing a great job. Sorry.
Thank you,
You and your
Deb.
staff are doing a great job.
Thank
A
you.
minute.
It's great.
Excuse
It's
me?
been great to go in there.
Oh, yeah, it feels pretty good, actually, you know.
I have a question. What's happening to the sign out front? It looks like it's listing.
I noticed that.
I'm wondering if it's rotted. And that, that's why.
Which sign are
The
you
red
talking
one
about?
out front by the street.
Oh, Dave painted that recently.
I know, but it looks like it's listing. It's definitely at an angle. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I will ask him.
Right.
Okay.
Faith, who's listing, you know.
Oh, and Convy's been working on the bushes. Oh, and I forgot to put in that Peter Frary did his trimming.
Mhm. Yeah,
But Convy's been watering the ones in the front.
yeah. And I'll be by tomorrow and give them another big watering. I haven't done anything with the statue at this point.
We actually don't want it to be moved. I talked to the staff. So
Okay.
don't worry about that. We
Okay,
think it should stay there. It's kind of like this secret fun place, you know,
Yeah.
for them.
it would be kind of nice then, if that's the case, to be able to maybe fence off the air conditioning center so that, and make it a little go-to area for the children.
Mhm.
You know, I think that's something that we ought to think about for the year to go forward, and you know, have like a little plan. What could we do besides that? Because it is a nice little area, and it's nice, and I think the kids would enjoy it if they knew about it. But I don't think very many people really do, and it needs. So and maybe we could have some more chairs, seating, fun things. I'm not sure, but we could maybe engage the friends if they're.
Well, we have to make it magical somehow.
Exactly.
Yeah, right now it's
yes.
magical. Well, why don't you talk
It's
to
magical. The
Johanna?
table moves all the time.
Pardon?
Yeah, that's magic.
Yeah.
I would ask Johanna if she has ideas, but
Sure. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
kids know it's there because they see it through that big window.
That's true. But, you know, I myself wouldn't encourage a lot of children to go there because of the air conditioning center. So I know the bushes give it some protection, but I think a nice fence would be good. And then that would protect it. And then we could really go. And then, I don't know, maybe have some fairy houses, or Johanna would definitely have some things to do it and make it a little magical place for kids to go. Yeah. So.
Yeah, they could even do a story hour where they build, you know, fairy houses there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you picture a wooden fence around the air conditioning, like a small wooden fence, or what?
What about something with, you know, flowers that grow, a trellis kind of thing? No?
We could. Yeah, we could. It's just a matter of.
You put a sign up, you know, it says like with an arrow, you know, a sign with an arrow, Magic Land or Secret Hideout, or, you know, so.
Secret garden.
Yeah.
Come on.
Secret
Well,
garden.
I mean, the statues are named after Barbara's, not Barbara, Dorothy Furry's daughter. And so, you know, I forget her first name, but whatever her first name is, it could be, you know, Kathy's Secret Garden or something. And I think that's a great idea, a little sign. I mean, I think there's a lot to do, and I think it would be a good project for us for the year, you know, going forth into next year to be thinking about. We can solicit ideas from Johanna, and but I think it would be a fun little project for us to do,
Right.
to work on.
In
Yeah,
the spring. Yeah.
yeah, something to look forward to. So
Yeah, and she could, I mean, Cindy Demon, the storyteller, do you know who she is? I think you know. She used to teach
Yeah.
second grade, I think, at Norris. She teaches at Westfield, I think. You know, she's pretty amazing. She might have some ideas also. She's the one who does the story hour, but I think Johanna does the craft. I'm not positive.
Yeah. Now I'm
She has
going to
lots of
try
ideas.
to buy, my life is a little crazy right now. So, but if I hoping to buy two arborvitae to put where the 2 steps were on the side of the property, to extend the arborvitae over. There'll still be 1 step there so that the people next door can still go into the library's parking lot. But I'd like to remove the stone part and then put an arborvitae there to grow up and make that fence go across. So
do you think we should email them that it's going to happen, or no?
No, it's our property. First of all, I haven't gotten myself over to, the weather's nice, so I've got some projects I have to commit here at the house this weekend. Otherwise, I really should go over to Winechecks and buy 2 bushes. But I'm hoping that we can get something done for it. So if not, definitely in the spring. But I'd like to do it beforehand. And then, of course, as soon as we can get the security people in to get the cameras up, that's really important. So, yeah.
Okay, does anyone have any new business? I have one quick thing, but so I sent you that registration link. This is my personal plug here for the talk with Sally Gardner-Reed. I needed to pull up her title, former executive director of United for Libraries, a division of the American Library Association. She's written several books about libraries, about being a trustee. So she's going to give a talk on, it's Saturday, November 14th. Starting at 10:30 a.m. We're planning it to last an hour and a half at the most. So in her talk's going to be about 45 minutes and then a 15-minute kind of Q&A. The theme is just building sustainability and diversity in your library trustee boards. Things like recruiting new members, making sure that, the board always kind of has new ideas and is representative of your community. So we thought it was a nice, timely topic and one that a lot of people are interested in. There is a limited number of seats because we're doing it over Zoom. So we're capped at about 100 and we're about halfway full now, actually. So it is free and I'd recommend people sign up if they think that's a topic they're interested in on a Saturday morning. And I will be there. So hopefully I'll see some of you there. And I emailed you that link like right after I sent the link for this, but if you need me to resend it, just shoot me a message and I can send that to you.
Great.
Okay, thanks.
Any other new messages or new business? New business? Okay.
I love our library. Put that in. And our librarians.
You may have talked this, Barbara, but did earlier, but did the Board of Health give any indication when they might let us extend our hours a little bit?
January, after the holidays, because Jerry expected that Thanksgiving and winter holidays, people would be gathering indoors. And so she thinks it's best. I mean, it could change, but that's what she mentioned today was for January. But right now is not a good time to expand the hours at this moment because we're in yellow. I don't know what it'll be.
The governor's new guidelines of only allowing 10 people to gather indoors now pertain to the library too, or not?
Well, you know what? I should ask her that. It said a private house. I heard. Yeah. So it said 10 inside a private house, 25 outside a private house. So I don't think that's us, but I should ask Jerry what. I guess all we'd have to do is go to the, to that more informational. I went more expanded on the Massachusetts COVID site.
What's our capacity though?
You mean usually or during COVID?
No, like right now.
Yeah, it's really like 8 to 12 people in the library at the most, and we have 4 staff sometimes there and a couple of volunteers. So, that's why we only let about 4 people in. So
we're not likely to violate the 10 limit.
Oh,
anyway.
no.
We're already there was my question.
Yeah, so we let in 4 or 5 people at a time besides staff and volunteers.
Yeah.
And it's not that difficult to keep it to that. You know, there's really very rarely a line out there. But I'll ask her about inside and outside numbers, unless I can find it on the Massachusetts COVID website. But his advisory, you know, I got the shortened version on my phone. I get these texts, but I don't have the whole thing. It's, yeah. Jerry says it changes so often that it's hard to keep up with all of it, you know, but restaurants, so people are no more indoor dining after 9:30. They can do takeout, you know. You can go for a walk after 10 o'clock. You can go to the grocery. I don't know if you can go to the grocery store. You go to walk, go to the doctor's. I forget. There were a few, go to work. It's only an advisory also. It's not mandatory.
Oh, the 10 to 5 is an advisory?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. It's an advisory. Yeah. Not a mandate or whatever you call it. So restaurants, you know, I heard one restaurant on the news today said that as long as they can stay open, but it certainly is a crunch for them because they were open after 9:30, I guess. And
yeah,
that's when they make money, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So he said, as long as they don't, you know, shut them down altogether, just doing takeout. And this was a restaurant in Northampton. But I don't think bars are open at all for inside, only if they serve food, something like that.
Well, and then they all just sell chips.
Is that what it is?
Right.
They get around that. I think it's pretty easy to get around. But is there any other new business, or can we have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Okay, we'll do a quick roll call. Debbie?
Aye.
Jessica? Aye. Oh, that's me. Maxine? Aye. Identity crisis.
That did so much good for us old folks. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I'm looking for another Jessica. I'm thinking, oh no.
Me too. Linda?
Aye.
Mark?
Would you say? Aye.
Jim?
Aye.
Beth?
Absolutely.
Jean?
No, you have to say aye.
Aye.
Jean?
Aye.
Faith?
Aye.
And Conby?
Aye.
Okay, great to see you all.
Well,
See you
happy
in
Thanksgiving to everybody.
Wow.
We'll see you in December.
Do we have a meeting scheduled for December yet?
So
Yeah,
it'll be December 3rd.
Oh, December 3rd? I can't hear you.
December
The usual. December 3rd, 6:30.
Okay. We'll see
Right.
you then.
Well done, you all. Thank you.
Everyone.
Aye.
Thank you.
Hi.
Aye.